What's up, oddballs? Welcome back to the Oddity Shop, where the bizarre is always on sale. I am your curator, Zachary, sitting here with your other curator, Carrie. No.
I thought I was either going to bet that you said Lee or Ree.
And this is the podcast where we tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, bizarro stories from around this weird little globe. I was going to say weird, wild,
weird.
And queer.
Quite weird.
A lot of words ran together. I'm going to take a sip of my caffeine and let Kara tell me about her day. You know what? As a queer, I think queered is a very good
queer little world
definer for me.
Queered. Oh yeah, that's cute. Hashtag queered. Okay. Anyway, my day was a little wild, but that's all right. What have I been up to lately? Oh, I made a spell jars because I don't think we talked about that, right? No, we haven't recorded in so long. Okay.
No, it's been almost a month.
Yeah, we have not recorded, you guys, in a minute, it's just weird to get back into it. So I made a spell jars. I did make a little video on how to make the spell jar that I made, and I still just haven't posted it because I don't know why I'm like shy about things that I make like that. Because I am not a TikToker. I'm not a videoer person. I need to get better at it.
Oh, I made a TikTok, but I haven't posted it either for the same reason. Have you seen the one with like Amy Poehler and all them going around lately where they're talking about like their outfit?
Oh, it's been viral, and then it's been giving so many random people like such hate for no fucking reason.
Okay, well, I made one while I was camping because I was wearing my big old sun hat that my dermatologist yelled at me about.
That's
and I'm
cute.
like, so not used to wearing hats. I'm like,
sun hat and a what?
It was headlamp and a wide brimmed hat. Headlamp and a wide brimmed hat. I know. Maybe I'll post it.
Okay, so you know the one that's like, it's like emergency paging Dr. B.
Yeah.
And it's like outfits.
It literally has been stuck in my head all day today.
Because it's such a cute little jingle.
Yeah.
And I actually have one that I want to do, but it's going to be, so maybe by this time it will be up. But it was going to be this, like, you know how they change the caption, like this trend, and it's going to be all the gifts that you've bought for your best friend and his mom and haven't give them yet. Because I have a pile and I thought it would be so cute, but I'm such a fucking idiot. I can't look cute and do that trend.
You definitely could. All right. Well, maybe next week, since we get to actually see each other and have a little sleepover, we could try to make some TikToks. Yes.
That trend won't even be going around anymore.
Who cares? When have we ever been on trend?
I don't know. Okay. So that's that. Anyway, spell jars. I did start something that I haven't told you, and I don't know. Whatever. It's because you've just pissed me off in a good way, and you've brought out this like ragey bitch in me, and I'm just like so annoyed.
What did I do?
Well, I can't have my best friend looking so fucking fly on our cruise. So I started the keto diet, and it's hard.
You don't need to diet.
I know, but I just want to like tone up, and I'm not good at like working out, and I'm just like, well, if I just like cut out sugars and things like that, I need to have something, you know me, I need to have like an actual fucking plan that I can like look at and visually see. So if I have a list of foods that I can only eat, then I can do it. So I've been doing that. That's crazy.
Nice. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Well, you know, I'm sure some people on here are going to freaking yell at me, but that's fine.
I'm gonna be ripped by this cruise, dude.
I know, I hate you.
That's at least the goal. We'll see.
I have one sad little thing, and we're sorry because we've been really sad little emo people on here. No, you don't even know this.
Oh, this is a different type.
I had to take the little weasel to the doctor again today.
Oh,
or Aaron did, I should say. This poor baby has gone to the vet more in the last 2 months than her entire life. She has a UTI.
Oh, no.
This baby is going through it, and I just like, y'all go follow her.
Yeah, and send a little magic to Delilah so that she
yeah, go follow her on Instagram.
She needs some love.
My poor little weasel. All right, that's all I've got. What do you got?
The only other thing I had for you is, I think I talked to you about it a little bit, but I went and saw Longlegs.
Oh yeah, you told me it was a little.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if any of you guys watched it. Let us know your thoughts. I thought it had a lot of promise. I thought the acting, minus Nick Cage, was really, really good. But I was just so bummed
I don't think I knew
Nick
Cage was in it.
Oh,
I don't really know.
He produced it, and he's the main baddie, who finds a lot of excuses to sing.
Oh, No, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyways, if you watch it, let us know what your thoughts of it are.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what people say. Because, yeah, you told me it wasn't, like, it had a lot of potential. Like, it really could have maybe been something, but you just weren't sure about it.
And then it just dropped. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what I'm not a movie critic, and so I'm interested to hear what other people think. But with all that being said, it's getting, we've been talking too much. Time. What the hell do you have in the shop?
Okay, Sir Zachary. What disease was the cause of more deaths in
starting strong.
More deaths in industrialized countries than any other disease during the 19th and early 20th century?
Okay, that would be the 1800s and the 1900s. I always have to think that math back. And industrialized. Polio.
If you guessed consumption, you guessed correct.
I guess I didn't guess correct.
I'll also take tuberculosis, TB, or white plague.
Oh, wow. Well, I almost had the bubonic plague, but you said industrial, so.
Okay. So 70 to 90% of the urban population of Europe and North America was infected, and 80% of the affected died.
Yikes.
Yeesh. Tuberculosis was known as consumption at that time, as it appeared to consume and infect the person's body.
So I have to admit, until my late 20s,
you didn't know they were the same?
I didn't know they were the same thing. In fact, when I saw the words consumption, my brain automatically assumed that it was alcoholism or drug use or like something like you were consuming something that killed you.
But you know what? I don't think you're alone in that.
Good. Okay.
So,
well, if I've learned anything from TikTok, I've never had an original thought. So.
Here's the thing. If you are alone, I want everyone to call you out in the comments. Okay. So anyway.
I can take the roast. Okay. Go on.
So, okay. If you didn't know or don't know, consumption or TB is a disease that affects the lungs. Basically, it's a type of bacteria and it is highly contagious and spreads easily. So common ways to spread are coughing, sneezing, and singing. All of these can put droplets of germs in the air. If someone is close and breathes in these germs, that can enter their lungs and continue the vicious spread.
Dude, you would have been a super spreader. Every 5 minutes, you cough, sneeze, and sing.
Sing.
All three of them, every 5 minutes.
Anyway, moving on. If you have a weakened immune system, you can have a higher risk of catching it. Okay, so let's move on to the symptoms, okay?
Okay.
So if the TB germs, I'm just going to call it TB, tuberculosis,
Yeah.
Okay, so if the TB germs survive and multiply in your lungs, then you have a TB infection. This infection can be 3 different types of stages. So primary TB infection, it's the first stage and is called the primary infection. So immune system's cells find and capture the germs, and then the immune system may completely destroy the germs, but some captured germs may still survive and then they multiply.
Okay. I'm proud of you. This is like the most scientific you've gotten yet.
Yeah. Okay. So most people don't have symptoms during a primary infection. So some people just get like, or they get like flu-like symptoms. So like low fever, tiredness, cough. So, nothing too serious.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's latent TB infection. And then primary infection is usually followed by this stage called latent TB. And then this is where the immune system cells build a wall around lung tissue with the germs, the tuberculosis germs. And then these germs can't do any more harm if the immune system keeps them under control. But if those little fuckers survive, there are no symptoms. Okay. Which is weird because it's latent. So you just don't have the symptoms. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then there's active TB. So active TB disease happens when the immune system cannot control infection. Germs cause disease throughout the lungs or other parts of the body. Active TB disease may happen right after primary infection, but it usually happens after months or years of latent TB infection. So you could have that latent TB, have no symptoms, but you still have those germs. You could be spreading them, and then it can go into active. Okay. So symptoms of active TB disease in the lungs usually begin gradually and worsen over a few weeks.
Yeah.
And they may include cough, coughing or blood of mucus, chest pain, pain with breathing or coughing, fever, chills, night sweats, weight loss, not wanting to eat, tiredness, and not feeling well in general.
That all sounds awful.
Yeah. Active TB disease outside of the lungs. So that's an infection that can spread from the lungs to other parts of the body. And this is called, this is where you're going to, extrapulmonary tuberculosis.
Oh my God.
Yay. I didn't even need you.
No, I'm so proud of you right now. 101 episodes and she's finally sounding out words.
So symptoms vary depending on what part of the body is infected. And then the common symptoms of that may include fever, chills, night sweats, weight loss, not wanting to eat, tiredness, not feeling well in general, or pain near the site of infection. Okay. So all of the other ones, plus you just are going to have pain at whatever,
perfect
infection site. Okay. Active TB disease in the voice box is outside of the lungs, but it has symptoms more like the disease in the lungs. So those common sites of active TB disease outside of the lungs, those ones include kidneys, liver, fluid surrounding the brain and spinal cord, heart muscles, genitals, lymph nodes, bones and joints, skin, walls of blood vessels, voice box, also the larynx. And then shout out to the Mayo Clinic for all the help with that, because I couldn't have done it.
Can't we just say everything at that point? Your entire body.
So this is what's crazy, because until, like you said, I knew what TB was and it was consumption, but I didn't realize that it was like an infection of the lungs, because I knew that it basically just consumed you everywhere. So I didn't realize that it just started in the lungs, centralized.
Now that's the only thing I knew about that.
Okay,
but that is, because I failed the TB test once.
What?
And
when? So
in college, I did an internship at the mental health clinic, which thankfully was in the actual health clinic. And I had to, I was starting Monday and they called me on Friday and they're like, hey, we forgot this is a health clinic. You have to take a TB test. So come in today. And for TB tests, what they do is they inject a fluid into your arm and it's forms a little bubble.
Ew.
72 hours later, they read the test. And if it has gone away, basically, you don't have TB. But if you get swelling or a rash or anything around there, something reacts and you have TB. Or
wait, if the bubble goes away?
Yeah.
Or just okay. Oh, and you had a rash?
So what'd you have? My dumbass, I had already planned a very long kayaking trip. And every time I paddled, I hit that bubble.
It irritated.
So it was all irritated. So I walked into my new job on Monday and I go, oh no, hey, I think I failed. And I held out my arm and they're like, well, good news is the x-ray machine is right down the hall. We're going to go get a scan of your lungs.
Okay.
So they scanned my lungs. I didn't have anything, masses or anything in there. But
well, why don't they just check your lungs first?
Because it's like a 10-cent injection compared to
using. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at you. Not having consumption.
Thank God.
The disease, at least. The lung disease, at least.
Hey.
Okay, let's move on to the cause.
All right.
Okay, let's address the fact that when the spread of this disease first started, it was believed to be hereditary. And this was because it ran through households quickly because it was obviously highly contagious. And that makes sense. Okay. So then it kind of moved from being the thought that it came from poverty. Okay, so then they're like, okay, so all of these, because you figure all of these areas where there's a lot of poverty, they're usually closer vicinities or they're just homeless people living. They're all, around each other and things like that. So then that makes sense because it spreads that way. So uncleanliness ended up being the basic cause of it. And I'm sure you can envision in this time frame that clean just wasn't like it is today. So even if you were clean, you're not clean because they were probably taking fucking baths. I think, don't you take baths once a month in that? It's crazy. Even the rich didn't clean the way that we think. You know what I mean?
Well, didn't have the water, man.
Okay. I know. Now, as you can imagine, this wasn't the logical cause, though, that society went with. So this is what we know this now, that it's not hereditary. It's not necessarily poverty. It's the cleanliness. It's the taking care of yourself, things like
virus,
that. So we know that now. Yeah, we know that now. This is not what they went with. So I have another question for you. Maybe you'll get this one correct.
Ow. At least you had questions this time.
Right. Okay. Do you know what was the thought to be the cause of TB, specifically throughout Rhode Island, Eastern Connecticut, Southern Massachusetts, like Vermont, like the New England states?
Oh my God. I feel like I did because of that stupid book. Rats. It's not rats, but... Or food? Is it something with food?
What do we blame everything on?
I don't know. Tell me. I give up.
Everybody, okay. I thought you were for sure going to say this right away, and everybody I thought would be screaming witch. So if you guessed witch,
oh, yeah.
You are wrong.
Oh, okay.
But that's what we blame everything on. So why wouldn't we?
Yeah, true.
Especially around. Okay. So if you guys guessed witch, you're wrong. If you guessed rat, you're wrong.
What about food?
Rat would have been logical.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We were going not logical.
That's right. All right. What is it? Just tell me. I have no patience.
Okay. So the New England vampire panic was the reaction to an outbreak of tuberculosis in the 19th century.
Oh, yeah, because they would have a lot of blood coming out.
The vampire post-states, the witch hunts, werewolf trials, and even demon-hunted Puritans. The concept of the vampire was an undead creature inflicting harm originated in Eastern Europe, specifically in Bulgaria, 1,000 years prior. Okay, so this was a legend and it was isolated among the Slavic people. And it was very whispered and it wasn't really well known. So the word vampire translates roughly to ghost monster. And that label gives you an insight about like these beliefs. Okay.
Yep. I see where this is going.
So the vampire is a creature that breaks the natural cycle of life by refusing to die completely and manages to survive by stealing life-giving blood from the living. Now, if you know me, then you know I love vampires. Hashtag Team Damon. But this to me doesn't scream vampire.
See,
I don't think I would have went the vampire route on this.
This is where I have to disagree with you for a little. If you know, you know, but I'm being forced into being a Team Jacob lately. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
That's a completely different vampire. And Jacob is a werewolf.
Well, you said Team whatever for vampires. I said
Team Damon, which that would have been Vampire Diaries.
Oh my God. Well, you're just mixing.
But Jacob's not a vampire. He's not werewolf.
That's why I'm telling you, I'm not on the vampire team.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me give you some insight on how we got here. Okay?
Okay.
Like we talked about earlier, the disease spread quickly through households and families. So for obvious reasons to us now. However, for the villagers, this clearly meant that the first to die were vampires or something close to that nature. And this made sense because once buried, they would escape their graves and come back for their family members and begin to suck the life out of them.
Ooh.
Totally logical.
Oh, what is that really old movie where the vampire does that and he like tries to kill his lover? Okay, whatever.
He's gay?
He tries to kill his lover? I don't know where you got gay out of that, but...
Are you being mean to me right now?
No, I said the old vampire movie where he comes back and like has to kill his own lover. I didn't say anything about it being a man.
Oh my God, I guess Wait.
No, never mind. You know
where
what?
the fuck did I get
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Okay, then I thought you were just being mean because I was crazy. I don't know why I thought you just said...
No, I'm just pointing out you're crazy.
Oh, I think you said his... I don't know. Okay. So moving forward, folklorist and author Michael Bell said the theory seems to have been that this corpse was being inhabited by some sort of evil spirit that was sustaining itself by draining the life or blood from the living. This spiritual possession had to be destroyed, and the evil bond between the living and the dead needed to be broken, usually by burning the infected organ and sometimes feeding the ashes to those who were ill.
Oh.
In extreme cases, to make sure the dead wouldn't arise again, the head was decapitated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I will say is, unlike the witch trials, where living were accused and then killed, in the vampire panic, the vampires were always corpses. So I guess that's like a better thing, right? Like, I don't know.
At least we weren't decapitating the living.
That's what I'm saying. So now on the other hand, still better than murder, but we're grave robbing and desecrating burial grounds and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So whatever. The first part of the vampire identifying process was to dig up the grave and examine the body. If the body was less decayed than expected, then we're slicing it up and looking around.
Logical.
If the organs contained liquid blood, then the person was deemed possessed. Zachary's face.
But
give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
I'm going to assume that most recently buried people in this time frame had liquid blood in organs, but that's just me.
You know? All right. So then, like I stated before, the spiritual possession had to be broken. So there were at least 80 grave diggings recorded in relation to this vampirism going around. That's only recorded. I can only imagine there's more because let's think about witch trials. We fucking killed everybody. In 1892, in Exeter, Rhode Island? Exeter?
Sure. I don't know.
Right? Exeter. I think it's Exeter.
That's how I would say it.
Okay. Is the most well-known and best documented case of vampire panic caused by consumption.
Ooh.
All right. Mercy Brown vampire incident. The Brown family consisted of George and Mary Eliza and their 3 children, Mary Olive, Mercy, and Edwin. Would you rather be Mary Eliza or Mary Olive?
I was honestly expecting another Mary.
Mary, I know. I like Mary Olive, but that's also because my cousin's name is Olive and I think it's so fucking cute. Okay.
It is cute.
Sadly, the family lost their mother in 1884 from what is now known as TB.
Okay.
And shortly after, they lost Mary Olive. So they lost Mary Eliza, the mama, Mary Olive, one of the daughters.
Okay.
So if we cut to 1891, when Mercy and Edwin also fell ill. Mercy dies in 1892. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she had it for a year. She dies. Now, vampire might not be the term that the townspeople are using at the time, but the thought of the undead being the cause for the family's downfall was starting to rumor.
Okay.
And the villagers, against George's wishes, continued to plea with him for allowance to exhume his beloved family members' bodies.
So one of them, Mary Olive, just died, but the other one's been gone a year.
No.
Oh.
Mary Eliza had died. Then Mary Olive died. And then...
I thought Mary Olive was sick for a year, though.
Mercy was.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's been over many years at this point.
That's...
Okay.
Exactly. That's why this doesn't fucking make sense.
Got it.
Okay. So, what would you do if... It's just so... I don't know. It's so sad because if you were poor George, you've lost all these family members and then the villagers and townspeople are literally harassing you probably daily to exhume all your family members. What would you do?
I don't know. I feel like it would be hard to do it, but if they dug up your family and they were in there, then I don't know.
Well, remember though, here's the thing. They're going to be in there. They never doubt that they're not in there. They just fucking mutilate your goddamn family members' bodies to prove that they are not vampires.
Okay, in that case, I'm probably going no, because it seems like they would just make whatever conclusion they wanted.
I do feel like around this time, they're going to do it without your consent anyway.
Oh, for sure.
So finally persuaded, George gave permission. So on March 17th, 1892, villagers, the local doctor... Yeah. Villagers, the local doctor, and a newspaper reporter exhumed the bodies.
Okay.
This is where we can laugh. I'm sure we all know that in 1892, we didn't have the knowledge or medical understanding that we do now. So exhuming Mary Eliza and Mary Olive proved to be somewhat of a waste as their bodies showed the expected levels of decomposition and were primarily bones. I wonder the fuck why.
Well, at least we know they're not undead.
Okay. And again, we can laugh because they had been buried for almost 6 fucking years at that point. So I would hope that they were decomposed.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's move on to Mercy.
Okay.
Mercy exhibited almost no decomposition and still had blood in the heart. They also noted that her fingernails and her hair had grown.
Wasn't she the last one to die?
Yeah.
Isn't that also pretty common knowledge that your hair and fingernails grow after death?
So this means Mercy is undead and the root cause of Edwin's fading health.
Makes sense.
Okay, so her lack of decomposition was more likely due to her body being stored in a freezer-like condition and in an above-ground crypt during the 2 months that followed her death. So remember, she died in what, like February?
Oh, yeah. They used to not be able to bury bodies in the winter. Yeah. Duh.
So her nails and her, like the hair are a trick of the eyes that we now know, like you just said, is caused by the flesh retracting around them. So they don't necessarily grow. It's just that your flesh retracts back and it looks like your nails or your hair have grown.
That makes sense.
So you're right. But so it's common. It's just whatever. Now, again, I know they didn't know all this shit then, but the common sense to me is that those first two bodies have been in there for about 2 years. Of course, there's going to be more decomposition. There's going to be more decomposition than Mercy, who has literally been in an above ground freezer crypt for 2 fucking months.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just died and she's now frozen. This is ignorant.
And how can a frozen vampire?
Right. I literally, like, my next line, I got so angry, but my next line was, Mercy just died a few months ago in the winter. Hello. However, Mercy was still deemed undead. And so, as the superstition tells us, Mercy's heart and liver were burned. Okay, so they ripped those fucking things out and they burned them. Poor Edwin, who's at home dying still. His mom and 2 sisters are dead. They've been fucking mutilated and unburied and shit. And he's still dying. He was subjected to drink a tonic made from Mercy's heart and liver ashes mixed with water. I would die at that moment. I would just die at that moment.
Yeah, I'm good. The forbidden chocolate milk.
Would you do that? Would you drink it?
No. God, no.
If you were like a kid, though.
No.
I don't remember how.
I'm so grossed out
you're
by
gonna die
remains.
if you don't drink. If you don't drink your sister. Okay, if you don't drink Emily's heart and liver ashes, you're gonna die.
I'm good. She can keep them. I'll take my chances. Love you.
She don't need them anymore.
I'm not drinking forbidden chocolate milk.
I love you, Emily. So disgusting. Okay, so poor Edwin did drink it. And he sadly passed away 2 months later.
Oh, it worked really well, didn't it?
Yeah, so he drank the poor fucking heart ashes for no fucking reason.
Was it like a one and done, or do you have to like daily drink it?
No, it's just like a tonic that they make all the ashes in the water. Gulp. Not that that's no, that is better than multiple doses.
Gross.
Oh my God. So Mercy's remains after the desecration were buried in the cemetery of the Baptist Church in Exeter. And I just feel bad for George because he lost his entire family and then he was bullied into digging up their resting bodies and mutilating his daughters because he was accused of being a vampire, or she was accused of being a vampire in the hopes to save his last family member. And then he died anyway.
Poor
you
guy.
literally did all of that to save your son and he died anyway.
Oh,
that's so awful and heartbreaking. I feel
family.
so bad for George. George, R.I.P. To your whole family. You. Strangely enough, George never contracted the disease. Which to me, that's almost even sadder because at that point, I'd be like, just take me. Dude, take me.
What if he didn't get along with his family? Maybe he was happy.
No, he did.
Oh.
No, George loved him.
Gotcha.
I don't fucking know.
It's okay. We're going with it. George loved his family very, very much. It's well documented. All right.
Okay. So, what's more sad than anything to me is he lived until 1922, just long enough to see bacteriologist Albert Clement and Camille Guerin discover the BCG vaccine, which was used to treat and cure tuberculosis. So he actually lived long enough to see that it was a disease, not fucking vampirism, and then for the cure to come out.
He sat down and wrote some very strongly worded letters to people when that came out.
I hope so. You know what? I hope when he died, he fucking haunted that whole fucking village that made him tear up his...
Turns out he was the ghost monster.
Turns out, yeah, plot twist. So, lesson of the story, if you don't want to dig up your dead family because they are thought to be vampires, don't. Peer pressure is a bitch.
Noted. Because more than likely they're not vampires. And if they are vampires, still don't dig them up. Because what if they wake up and then they don't even have to hunt. You're right there.
And you don't have Buffy. What are you going to do? But like on the other hand, I'll gladly become a vampire. So
notice how she's putting that out there for the whole world to hear. So if anybody's looking for a willing victim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will leave us with some fun facts around Mercy and the vampire incident. So scholars suggest that Bram Stoker, the author of the novel Dracula, knew about Mercy Brown's case, and through newspaper articles and like novels, through newspaper articles, and that he based his character Lucy upon her.
When did Bram Stoker write Dracula?
I don't fucking know.
I would have thought it was a lot earlier.
Hey Siri, when did Bram Stoker write Dracula? She's thinking. Bitch, I don't have time for this. Hey Siri, when did Bram Stoker write Dracula? 1897.
Okay, I don't know why. Like, it seems like it's so much older than that.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
That is really cool, actually.
Anyway, so I thought Bram was such a cool name. Like, that's so cool.
It is a really cool name. Bram Stoker.
Yeah, but do you want a spoiler?
What?
Do you know what his name actually is? Abraham. What a loser.
It's better than being named Carrie.
But you know what? If anybody's named Abraham out there right now listening, if you go by Bram, that is so fucking cool. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, diss them
Is that just
first.
a common thing?
I think they usually go by like Abe. I don't think most of them
That's
go by
what
Bram.
I thought. I've never heard of Bram. I love it. Okay, so also in H.P. Lovecraft's The Shunned House, Mercy is referenced. And if you would like to know more about Mercy and the Brown family, you can check out Michael E. Bell's Food for the Dead on the Trail of the New England's Vampires, where events of the disaster are actually told by remaining descendants of the Brown family.
Oh, see, that's really cool because I feel like most people on the East Coast do all the witchy things. That would be kind of cool to do a vampire tour.
I know, and that's why I thought you were going to guess which when I asked because it is kind of all witchy.
Oh, yeah, no, I should. I'm kicking myself now for it.
I know, it's okay.
Now we're going to have to add more East Coast stops onto our haunted road trip that we're never going to be able to hit all these locations.
We're never going to go. Yeah, so I guess I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in these people's shoes, but to me, it's just like vampire. But I'm thinking of just the vampires that we know. But if you're thinking about like, because you have to think about it, in this time frame, vampire wasn't the word, right? It was just like a creature. Now we have a word for vampire, but it was basically this ghost monster that like, just like a creature that came out from your, like a spirit that inhibited your family members and then just killed you all.
And I feel like too, we have to remember medical advances were not advanced at that time. And I don't think we can always blame like the townspeople either, right? Because if you have this very deadly, now we know is a disease, but a deadly thing that's basically making you bleed and die and act weird after death, right? Is like, you can kind of follow the common sense, like out of fear, you're going to be looking for any way. Like, yeah. But this is where, though, then I switch to the witch trials. And I'm just like, no, these people there was no justification to murder all of these people because they thought they were rich because the whole townspeople got on board, followed the leader type deal. So it's the same type of thing. Yeah, but this one's a little easier to digest because they're at least only mutilating dead bodies.
I know. That is the only thing that I'm just like, okay, well, the only like saving thing in this type of case is that these people were already dead. So yes, it's so sad that you're desecrating graves and you're tearing up these resting places and decapitating family members and things like that. However, they're already dead. So it's like, oh, I don't know. I hate it. It's so sad. It's so sad either way, but I don't know. So that my oddballs is the tragic. What did I say?
Tragic.
That is the tragic tale of TB and how vampires got a bad rap.
Interesting. I didn't know those two things were ever related, but that is kind of cool.
I didn't either. And I thought it was so interesting. I feel so bad for George, though. I feel so bad.
Maybe I didn't have TB. I was just a vampire
You had vampirism
the whole time. Maybe that's why I can't sleep at night. And my dermatologist told me to stay out of the sun. It's all
Stay away
making
from
sense.
the sun.
Well, good thing about a
But
sun
you like
hat
garlic.
now. Oh, I do love
You
garlic.
like garlic. I think that's just a fake
Yeah,
thing about
definitely.
vamps.
I also hate the sight of blood and get lightheaded when I think about it. So I'd make a terrible vampire.
Well, right. But we evolved. So I feel like vampires can evolve and they probably are just walking around along with us. You know, they probably are like, can only come out at night, you fools. Idiots. Or it's just like Vampire Diaries and you have a daylight ring.
Oh my God. They have everything.
It's a magical ring that a special witch makes for you. And then you just wear it and you can do whatever the fuck you want whenever.
Yeah, that seems like a shortcut in writing. Well, how do we get around that? We just give them a sun ring.
No, because you have to find a certain witch and a descendant of that certain witch that can make you it. So not all vampires can have it. Majority don't. It's only like a few that can finagle this witch to be on their side because witches and vampires, no. So it's not that easy, Zachary.
Okay.
Bitch.
So it's team, what is it? Edward, team Jacob, and like
Damon.
team
That's
Bathsheba.
separate.
I didn't know that the...
Bathsheba.
Well, I didn't know. I knew vampires and werewolves didn't get along, but I didn't know. I didn't know the witches were involved.
Bathsheba's a person.
Bathsheba is a witch name.
Okay, you're right. But I was thinking like, I just
think back to The Conjuring, baby.
That's what I was like.
Well,
she's not a vampire.
No, she's a witch. I was given the third team: vampire, witch, werewolf. God, follow my logic.
I got you. Oh my God.
All right. Before we get into a fist fight,
Bathsheba. What does she have anything to do? I'm sweating.
Wait, he's gay?
You know why? Because I don't want Bathsheba to come after us. You just screamed out her name.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's wrap the shop up. We need to close down.
Let's close it. It's closing.
Okay, so
time.
Tell us in the comments, instead of an emoji, are you team vampire, team werewolf, or team witches?
Or do you want to be a hybrid? I would actually like to be a hybrid.
Oh my God. Well, you can't. They don't get along.
A hybrid is a witch. Or I mean, not a witch. Is a vampire and a werewolf. Whatever.
How does that even work? Okay.
Just shut up.
Send us a review if you like this and could get through our arguing. Write in your stories. We always need more. And
leave the Dracula emoji.
I already said we're not doing emojis. You're picking teams. You have listening issues today.
Okay. I don't care. I want the Dracula emoji. Okay. Here's the thing. Mariel leaves every emoji that we say. So Mariel leave a witch, a wolf, and a Dracula.
And thank you for being the only one who listens to our directions.
Shout out, girl.
Our one listener.
And your creepy kid.
All right. With that, Kara, let's get the hell out of here.
Goodbye.
What do they need to do?
Well, let me finish. I'm still sweating.
You just said
I know, but I was saying goodbye to you. Get out of my face. Zachary, get out of my face. I love you all. Please leave the emojis that we requested. It means a lot to me when I see them. And most importantly, creep it real, yeah, balls.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's where you say goodbye.
Bitch. Goodbye.